On this episode of Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers, we talk about graduations and elementary school graduations, please. We also discuss a teacher getting in trouble for showing a Disney movie in class. Who would have thought? And we have a special guest to talk to us all about the Florida happenings, because there's quite a bit of them. And we also talk about paid maternity leave, because that's a thing now for teachers. Who would have thunk? Anyways, this episode of Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers, starts now. Hey everybody, this is Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. My name is Devin Siebold. I got my co-host and good buddy, Mr. James Yan, and we have a special guest today, Kathy Cannon, from, I like your IG name, Cannon's Fodder _ IG, or because you have to have the _ IG because they don't know where they're at when they're looking for it. But
obviously.
Anyways, but you're on TikTok, you're a teacher. We like to involve some teachers here on the show every once in a while. I get flack, and another teacher, I saw on Teachers Off Duty podcast, somebody posted underneath one of their videos that said, hey, you guys aren't teachers anymore. Why do you have the authority to say anything about? And I'm like, I was in the classroom for 13 years. I think I kind of know a little bit about it.
I earned the right.
PTSD is real, man.
Yeah, but I bring other teachers in to validate me. And no, I'm just kidding. So anyways, thanks so much for obviously following us and watching and checking us out online. Don't forget to rate us 5-star on the iTunes app. Just all you got to do is pull up the podcast, click the little star rating, and then just bam. You don't even have to write a comment, just 5-star. We love the little boost and the attention, and we're both very big narcissists.
We are.
And so anyways, it's good to have you here though.
Hey, but if you want to write anything, it's about how amazing I am.
Absolutely.
And why I'm here.
There you
right?
go.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yes. And you're big on TikTok, right?
Yeah, I mean, ish.
So what kind of videos do you create on TikTok?
The ones I get the most attention for are I haven't combed my hair, but I'm ranting about while my coffee's getting made, about DeSantis mostly.
Oh yeah, DeSantis. Yeah.
It's easy to do that, and then I yell about Ronald Reagan a lot too.
Ronald Reagan,
really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
We get a lot of complaint about
what has
Ronald
Ronnie
Reagan.
been doing to you lately?
I don't know.
I mean, he existed.
He did.
And that was enough.
Gotcha. All right.
I never got over him being in that Genesis video.
Me either.
I hope that's right. Is it Genesis
Yes.
or
Yeah.
Peter Gabriel? I always get him
No,
confused.
Genesis. You got it right.
Got it right.
You got it right, man.
Yeah. So now you teach seniors.
I do.
Seniors in high school.
Yeah.
We're about that season right now. This episode's coming out right around the time that summer is starting. A little late because, unless you're in New York, I think they get out on August 7th.
Yes.
Because for some reason they have the latest school year ever.
Yeah, they do.
But graduations are upon us. Are you ready? Now, do you have... I used to like teaching seniors because a lot of people don't know this, and it's kind of a perk of teaching seniors. The seniors would get out 2 weeks before school let out.
Oh.
They got out on Friday.
Yeah,
I read a book this week.
See?
Yep,
You read a book this week.
Yep.
Now, James, a lot of people don't know this because a lot of people like us don't advertise that they get out 2 weeks early because we don't want called away to do other stuff.
So nobody notices that you guys don't have anything to do for 2 weeks.
I'm not going to lie to you. I literally would get to my classroom and I would know I didn't have students that whole day.
Yeah.
And I would go inside, I'd lock my door, I'd turn out the lights, and I sat in the corner that you couldn't see things. And I just had my laptop on my lap, and I would be like, YouTube.
I laugh only because I did that today. The thing that for the shooter drills, the cover the door. So I covered my door, had just the emergency light on, reading in the corner. They got me yesterday. I had to proctor one of the CFE tests. They saw me walking in. They're like, "Hey, Kathy." I'm like, "Gosh."
No.
They got me.
Yeah,
the
proctoring of the test too. That's the worst. That's when you get called to do something with the cover a class or something. That's a little different. When you get called into proctor, that's the worst.
Ninth graders too. That's the worst. I teach seniors, and then they put me in a room of testing freshmen, and I hated every minute. Of
you can't pull out your cell phone.
You can't do any of that.
Yeah, we couldn't even sit down.
You have to stand up?
To walk around the room like a weirdo.
For hours. Yeah,
and make sure
do,
they're not
the
cheating.
Tap on the desk. Wake up.
Hey, wake up.
Hey, wake up.
That's it. Well, actually, if you did the wake up, technically they're like, no, you can't do that. Because you could be like, wake up, A. I got
Gotcha.
D.
Yeah, got it.
but
got
no.
it. Morse code.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because the kids know Morse code. Anyways,
Yeah.
no, I used to love teaching seniors because of that little
Window. Yeah, man.
of like sanity, and it was just so nice. And I never volunteered for anything, never did anything. I got out 2 weeks early. So if you're, and there was a jealousy. Obviously,
sure.
the people that taught the freshmen and sophomores, they had a little bit of a, hey, what are you doing? It's like,
Oh,
nothing.
Nothing. Oh, you told them the truth. I like it. I like it. Yeah.
See, I have lies. I do National Honor Society, so I'm like, oh, I have a lot of NHS paperwork to catch up on.
right.
I'll be in my room
Gotcha.
doing paperwork. It's fine. I'll be over there. My book.
I like
in the corner. The lights
NHS
out.
stands for not helping someone.
I got a lot of that to
Told
do.
on myself now. Nobody at school watched this.
Yeah, but oh man! By the way, I'm pouring in sweat, and I wanted to. I put sweat on here, not anticipating pouring in sweat. So I this is a complete side note, unteaching related, but
Okay.
let me tell you how mad I am. I went to the store.
Yeah.
I've been reading some stupid articles on deodorant
Okay.
and like how it causes cancer and stuff. And
Oh.
and I'm not gonna lie, I flew to Australia, and when I flew to Australia and they lost my luggage, I went into Target and I was like looking, and there was one roller of like Mitchum, like basically antiperspirant.
Yeah.
And I go, hey, where's the deodorant? And they're like, it's right there. And I was like, no, all the different kinds. They're like, no, that's what we sell. And I'm like, so where's the other stuff? And he's like, you're American. That stuff causes cancer, and we don't sell it in Australia. So you deal with that one.
And you're like,
and I
you
was
sell
like-
cigarettes, and that causes cancer.
Right? You
That's fun
sell the
cancer.
sun.
Yeah, that's fun.
The sun here is giving you cancer.
Cancer.
It's the worst sun in the world.
Yeah.
But anyways, I remembered that, and it stuck with me. And so I've always been like, I use deodorant, but every time I would put it on, I'd be like, here it is, give myself, And then finally I was in a store the other day. I was like, why do I keep buying this deodorant that gives me problems and might, cause, why don't I just buy the safer kind? So
Yeah.
I got the one with no aluminum, no zinc, which, by the way, they take out 2 ingredients and charge you $8 more.
Oh, absolutely.
And then I put it on, and I went to the airport. Mm-hmm. And you know what I did the entire time as the airport?
What did you do?
Poured in sweat out my armpits.
Yes, you did.
Because it doesn't work.
Yeah, that's why.
I don't know why I was like, all I did was smear jelly
Yeah.
like underneath my
Yeah.
arm and was like, let me give it a smooth way to come out my body.
You should have known better because it said Smuckers.
Yes, I know, right? So
actual
I just
thing.
sit here and sweat, and that's it. And now and it's going to show, by the way, because
It
I
is.
have that deodorant on right now. Now I'll smell okay.
Gotcha.
And I won't have cancer, but nobody will want to be around me anymore.
No,
So
no.
it's like, would you rather have friends or cancer? You figure it out.
Yeah. Go
So
from
Sometimes
there.
there's a coin flip there.
it is a coin flip.
flip.
It is a coin flip. Some friends are cancer, and that's what you got to. Look at that motivational minute.
There you go.
Anyways, so James, now I wanted to get to you.
Yes.
Because, my friend, you had a monumental
I did.
weekend.
I had an amazing weekend. Thank you so much. I'll fill you in.
Oh, good.
My son, my oldest of 4 children, actually got his master's degree at the University of Florida. Yes. Glad for
UF.
that. UF. Good,
Yeah.
great school, by the way. Expensive.
Yeah, a little bit. A
expensive.
master's degree.
Master's degree
Okay.
in mechanical engineering. Almost forgot.
Oh, wow. He
yeah.
does math.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
Like on
forget that
purpose.
No,
degree. I wouldn't
no.
forget how much it cost.
Oh, I didn't. The Gator Chomp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bite
Did-
marks and checking out.
Did
Yeah,
you
got
say,
it.
oh, master's in engineering. Did they teach you how to build an ATM? Because
Or at least break into one.
Or break
right?
into
Like,
one,
we're going to
yeah.
need all that money.
Oh man, great school. He actually got hired by the people last year who flew the space probe into the meteorite to change the trajectory. John Hopkins. That's where he works for their applied lab now.
Nice.
Yeah, great job, making really good money.
All
So you pay
right.
back.
So here's where you hit him with the bill.
That's where you.
Yeah.
So he graduated, and here's the thing
You
about
added up how many times you gave me beef jerky?
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
It's my beef jerky. Emotional suffering, yeah. So here's the thing. He graduated and it was wonderful, beautiful. You've been to graduations as teachers. You know
Too
how
many.
they go.
Too
Yes. Now with college, though, they break it up into whatever your actual degree is. So I went to two. I went to his girlfriend's, which was in agriculture. Now, agriculture, they have a person there who's reading off all the names of the people graduating.
Yeah.
Agriculture is pretty easy. You got a lot of Jimmys, Bobbies, Johns, Coltons, Hunters.
Dalton.
Yeah.
There's
Right,
always
there's some
Dalton.
Dalton in there, Rod Dalton, you go, buddy. Yeah, a lot of those. Now, here's the unsung hero of college graduations. When it gets to stuff like computer science,
Mechanical engineering, computer science, pharmacology.
woo, the dude who read the names should be given an award. At some point, he's looking at the names like, can I buy a vowel? Like,
Did you ever see like the SNL with Steve Harvey reading the names of the volcanoes? Like,
bro, and he was trying his best.
Oh, he
was
had
like,
to be.
Masel, Mukaso. At some point, I swear to God, he's like, Mama say, Mama sa, Mamakusa.
It's hard. Like, I've read names at graduation.
It's
It is
not easy.
so easy to mess them up because it just happens so fast. And like, I may have said a bad word into the microphone once, and
was it a name? Because that's common now.
Yeah.
no,
They
no.
name them that.
No. It's like managing graduation is terrible because the
It
kids
is.
are all like
It
walking
is,
up.
yeah.
The girls are in shoes that they should not be wearing to climb
They're
stairs.
like
and
baby
whatever.
deers.
Right?
Yeah.
And like, so like they were trying to like, manage the kids, and they kept bottlenecking at the stairs, and I kept telling them like, hold the kids back, and they wouldn't. So it was one of those fa, and then like, yeah. And, and
everyone just stood up, sake, like they knew.
I haven't been allowed to read names at graduations.
There you go.
So now I'm there to catch them when they fall with the heels, which is
Gotcha.
not a great job for me. I'm pretty clumsy.
No,
so.
I always love saying that, by the way, because everyone thinks, all the women think they should wear heels. But normally, people don't wear heels anymore. So.
It's not even heels. It's like string
Straight.
and a stick
Yeah.
on their foot.
And it's so funny to see how brave those girls are because
They walk like this.
they're like trying so hard, and then they get to the stage, and it's one of those where they piece it together, and there's little gaps in between,
And the
you're
sets are
just
like this thin.
This is not gonna work,
and it does not.
But you know what kills me too is we had at our graduation, so we had an actual English teacher that they had read them. But I thought it was so funny to me because this was the one guy that was like the hardest chain smoker in the school. and I swear to you, like, I could see him being so stressed over these names, and he would get to the IB kids, and I swear he would take out and chew a nicotine patch, like, all right, let's do it, But it was all funny to me because he always like smoked so hardcore, and the second he was done with that names, he went outside, he was like. That was his name, Like he lost a lot of good names out there, Like he was so into
I just imagine this really hardcore guy just almost smoking at the podium. All right, his name is Dalton.
If that was an option, I'd have taken it. I'm not gonna lie.
My high school graduation was quick and sweet. It was 15 people in my graduating class.
What?
Yikes.
Super simple. It was a basketball and sports school, and like we were all sports recruits.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. I was the only one. I went to a college prep school before I went to that school.
Okay.
And so I was the only one that was like, I was in gifted student program, National Merit Scholar, like 4.0 GPA. And it was so funny because they had awards that they were designated to give out to people. Mm-hmm. And I have a video of me. My mom took it of them going, okay, the Principal's Award, Devin Bold, and I stand up and I'd walk and I'd get it, and then I'd walk all the way back down, and they go, the Math Award, we got Devin Bold, and then I get up, and they put me at the end, which was the worst, and I like came down and I like get it, and then I'd turn around and go back, and I'd sit down, and they're like, the English Award, Devin Bold, and I stand up and I go,
God.
and it was a slaughtering.
Was it really?
I was standing there with like awards and like trophies. They had the local college gave out like a little what was it? College scholarship.
Yeah.
And they gave like a big trophy with it, and like all these like books they were handing me. All these, I mean, it was literally like awards and medals. And there's just me sitting at the end, literally just decked out like the king of Spain. Like I'm literally being coronated, and like all the other kids are like,
I hate Devin.
just stupid.
That's why his name's Devin.
But
I hate them.
what was funny to me, though, is I look back, and I think I've told you about my graduation. I may have even mentioned it here on the podcast, but I graduated from a strict Southern Baptist school.
Yes, you did.
And
Yes.
I was working at Hooters, and I brought my girlfriend at the time to the graduation, who I was 18, she was 26 with a child. And she showed up in...
Hooters
let me
uniform?
just tell
Like
you.
the whole
Wait, in
thing?
her defense, though, she had a kid.
Her Hooters outfit is conservative.
Oh, wow.
By comparison to what she showed up with in the Southern Baptist Church. Like there were some. I will say this: graduation was on a Saturday. Sunday, a lot of people coming up asking for forgiveness. A lot of people saying, "I got something I need to confess."
That's
you know?
funny.
And it was there. But it's so crazy because that's forever.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah,
in
it
all
is.
my graduation photos. This Hooters girl with huge boobs out and a child on her hip, and me like.
But I was going to say, man, she was a Hooters waitress. In her defense, if she didn't have a child, they give you one.
They do.
That's
They
how
loan,
that works.
He's not
they
wrong.
loan them to you.
They do.
Yeah, but that was my life actually. When I was a junior and seniors, I was working at Hooters and dating Hooter girls, and man, there was a whole bunch of jealousy.
I bet. And that was from the
bunch-
teachers.
Yeah, a whole bunch of jealousy.
Yeah, man.
I'll never forget. I was seeing this very nice Dominican girl. She was very beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll never forget my pale white butt strolled into that gym, and we have an all black sports team. And I was like, walked in with my girlfriend, and they were like,
What the?
yeah, it would instantly take it to the cookout. by
Yeah,
the way.
yeah.
Instantly take it to the cookout. But
And that was the pastor inviting
They
you,
were like,
yeah.
"What in the world
World.
is Devin doing?" And I was like, "This eating beaming."
I would have just said, what is Devin doing? The Lord's work.
The Lord's work. All right, you want to jump into the teachers in the news?
My favorite.
Initiatives announced to tackle the state teacher shortage in this is in Connecticut. Connecticut. There are initiatives that are being taken to improve teacher recruitment and retention. Now,
You know it's bad if Connecticut needs teachers.
yeah, so here's the crazy thing. The governor is creating 2 pilot programs statewide because they want to do an apprenticeship. Because obviously the reason teachers aren't becoming teachers is because they're not recruited and apprenticed young enough.
Oh, okay.
That's obviously it.
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
it. They also want to provide funding for schools to have a grow your own initiative.
Okay.
Where they have kids that are high school kids that they recruit to come back to teach, because that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
And then the last thing they want to do is they are putting $1 million towards a paraeducator job fair.
Just a fair?
The paraeducator job fair. They want to fill 1,300 job openings. So obviously the issue is that there hasn't been a job fair because they surely would fill them otherwise if there was not a fair.
That's true. But they're spending how much on it, Devin?
That's the
Well,
one.
it's $3.1 million for all 3 of those.
All 3.
All 3 of those. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, but they asked a teacher, they said, "What do you think they should do?" And they said, "Pay us more." Now,
What?
what? I
That's
know.
what we always say, though.
Why? I mean, why take that $3.1 million towards anything that could possibly, help the teachers and just, we gotta just recruit them younger. Apparently,
That's like if there's a fire, instead of getting water, I'm going to go buy a fire truck.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's an
Because
idea.
to a 12-year-old,
Yeah.
that salary is a lot of money.
But most educators push for increased pay. So, anyways, the governor signed. I always love that. Most educators push for increased pay. So, anyways, the governor signed. It's always like, yeah, we other than that,
I like that they say most. So like there's a couple like, well, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I don't need
I'm
any
in
more
it for
money.
the fame and the money.
It
That's
is
obviously it.
Connecticut.
Yeah,
I think
true.
sometimes those northern states get a little bit extra. All right, this one, oh man, a Jewish teacher threatened swastika drawing students saying all Jews have guns. Apparently a Jewish teacher, I read this article and This kind of stuff enrages me, okay? A Jewish teacher in Wisconsin was busted because allegedly threatened a group of students that were drawing swastikas. Now, this teacher is Jewish.
Okay.
And he is a teacher at a middle school, and apparently he said to the students when he noticed that they were drawing swastikas in their books, he said that he has 17 guns in his basement. That's probably not the way to handle this. Anyways, he caught two students drawing the symbol, confronted the whole class about the incident, and said he was about to go scorched earth on this thing, and apparently said he had students. He told students he has a gun collection and warned them that he would, quote, F them up. Now,
well then,
here's the thing. Let me say this, okay?
All right.
I get it. This man stepped out of line.
He did.
Okay.
He did.
I read the entire article. Nowhere in the article do we ever discuss the fact that swastikas are being drawn in a Jewish man's classroom. I think we have forgotten what Nazism was.
Yes.
I do.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a disconnect because I think that if you pull in people that actually fought in World War II, the people that saw the
horror,
camps, the people that went there and experienced, not even the people that went, just the people that were alive during the time period.
Yes.
I think they would go, oh, well, he was being easy on them. You know,
yes.
like, it's one of those things where I get it. Shouldn't have said terrible thing.
No, he should not have.
At some point, we should also write the news article, hey, kids were drawing swastikas in a Jewish teacher's classroom. I think that news article also needs to be written.
Absolutely.
Can we see the other side of it where we go, hate symbols are being openly drawn in a Jewish teacher's classroom?
And why did they feel emboldened enough to do that?
well, I have theories on that. It's because I don't think they understand. Because I realized this a couple of days ago. I was talking to one of my former students who graduated with like a 4.2 GPA, like honors, full ride scholarships, right? They don't know anything. And I think it's like the standardized testing culture, right? They learn enough to be able to like hit the benchmarks, right? But they don't get like the deep understanding of it.
Yes.
So they know Holocaust bad. Hitler did bad things. But like, do you know how he was able to do the bad things? No idea how he came to power.
Yeah.
No idea how any of that happened, which explains how it like happens now.
Unfortunately.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like they don't see it coming.
Yes, absolutely.
And unfortunately, I think it's a product of the current way we are doing teaching.
Yep.
Because we are saying cram this, and this is how we need you to teach this specific subject. What if they have questions? Oh, well, you don't have an extra day to teach it. So you have to get this done by this date, and if it's not done by that date, and admin walks in and sees you are not on that exact schedule that you are told to do, even though the kids had questions, even though the kids enjoyed the subject and wanted to explore it more, you do not have the freedom as a teacher to continue the education. It's so mind-boggling that as teachers, our main goal is to inspire kids to want to learn.
Yes.
And when you find something that they want to learn, you are stopped from continuing to learn it.
Well,
that's the part that makes me so mad is there's no freedom of, man, sometimes I would teach something and these kids would get on fire with it and I'd be like, well, my plans for tomorrow have just been scrapped because I'm not doing that. I'm going to keep going on this. We're going to dig deeper. They're passionate about it.
Yes.
Can't do that.
Well, I don't understand it because isn't that the very opposite of learning when you can actually interact and ask questions?
They don't
It's
want
not
them to
about
learn
the learning anymore.
Yeah, they
It's
don't
not
want
about
them
it.
It's just hitting criteria, hitting
It's
benchmarks.
about
hitting benchmarks.
Benchmarks.
It's test
Benchmarks.
scores.
Yep.
That's it. And like, they don't even understand World War I either. This was the part that killed me, is that they know enough to be able to identify key players in World War II. But like, they don't understand that World War I is why World War II happened. And they don't understand that like the unification of Italy and Germany, I'm getting really nerdy here, sorry, is why World War I happened, right? But if they put all of that together, a lot of the world makes sense because you can see how all of those things led to this happening. And once upon a time, we all agreed fascism was bad.
Yeah.
Can we get there again?
Yeah.
Like sexy's making a comeback.
That's all I'm saying. But it's concerning.
I think it also it has to do with spending 2 days on World War I.
Yep.
That's crazy.
And not being able to connect the dots. And sometimes the way they want you to teach it too doesn't really align. Like you can't make the connections. You can't build the history and create the narrative. The narrative doesn't exist. The test exists.
Right.
And the questions exist. And that's what matters is the test, the questions, not that it was an actual event in history.
Yes.
These kids should know about
Yes.
and know that when they draw that symbol, that is not what they think it's cool. There's a history
behind that.
There are people with numbers on their arms that
yes.
have a far different view of that symbol than them drawing it in their notebook thinking it's cool.
An entire group of people were almost erased.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I go crazy because like U.S. history is a tested subject in Florida now, so they have very specific curriculum. The World War I curriculum is read this article, look at this cartoon. Do you understand it? Okay, move on.
Wow.
And that's it. And then from there, you go into World War II. Well, these people were allies and these people were allies, and we won. Okay, and that's it. That's all they get.
It used to blow my mind that they get allotted the same amount of time for the Holocaust as they did for propaganda posters. And I'm like, what matters more?
More, yeah.
I mean, what should we probably discuss a little bit more at length? All right, this one, I don't know. I'm a little taken back by it. So there was a teacher that apparently is being harassed because of the school's lies on gender identities that this person was apparently forced to go along with. So basically, there was a California middle school teacher, and she is suing the school for its alleged policy of keeping students' gender identity a secret from parents. And she had to go on administrative leave for the rest of the year after being harassed at school. So apparently there were students that had confided in teachers that they wanted these particular pronouns. They were going through a transition. They felt this way, and they had not yet expressed that to the parents. And this teacher felt obligated to tell the parents because they felt that was a parental thing that they should be experiencing with their child. Well, the school... The teachers at the school started wearing little lapel pins with rainbow flags on it and like targeting her as if she was basically the snitch.
Got it.
And basically she said, hey, look, I was just out here trying to tell the parents, you know, hey, your child's going through this. You need to be there for them. And she wasn't against the transition. She was against keeping it a secret.
Well, that's a sticky situation.
So,
yeah. Because as you know, I'm the parent of a trans kid. Would I like to know? Absolutely. But I can't imagine having to go through that in public and that amount of change and how people may not accept me. I don't know if I would want someone telling my parents. There might be a reason I don't want to tell them.
Yeah.
And that reason may be you're going to get pushback or there's going to be some kind of punishment maybe, or I just don't feel comfortable yet doing that in that particular setting.
I would like to know how this situation came about. And what I mean by that was, is it a student who directly went to a teacher and said, this is who I am.
Yeah.
Here's my pronouns. Here's what I'm going through. Or you have a gray area where you observe a student talking to another student, and that is a conversation they should have with their parents when they're ready.
Yes.
But sometimes you want to be ready with your friends first and feel an acceptance there before you take that big leap
bubble.
of
That's what I was going to say.
Especially, this is California, it's a little bit different, but I mean, I grew up in the South.
Yes.
And obviously graduated from a deep South Southern Baptist Bethany Baptist Church.
You did.
Came out there.
It did.
Let me tell you
Colonel
right
Sanders
now.
was at your graduation.
Yeah, and
Scooter's girlfriend, right?
And let me tell you, had I been going through something like that, I know the things that they said.
Yes.
And I know, and it wasn't my parents. It was the community.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you want to confide in your friends because hey, you've been my friend for a while. You're accepting. You know things that my mom doesn't. But the teacher overhears. Is that their obligation to out you? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. That's a tough one, but yeah.
Yeah, I have a big problem with that. I just don't think it's right.
And on a side note, as teachers, you know this. Once that trust is gone between you and that student, you're not getting it back.
You're not getting it back.
Yeah.
Right? Like I jokingly refer to myself as a part-time emotional support animal
Yeah.
for kids.
Yeah, I get it.
Because they need that place to go. But that's why a lot of the laws being passed in Florida drive me crazy. Because they look for a safe place to figure out how to become who they are before they're ready. Like I tried explaining it to somebody once with a Bible verse of all things.
Okay, there you go.
My Catholic school education coming out again. But it's the no man can be a prophet in his hometown, right? Like it's harder to be your true self with people who've known you forever.
That's right.
And I have a trans student from a few years ago that explains to me that the hardest part for them was their parents mourning who they used to be. Right? And the life that they expected for their child to have.
Yes.
And they had to and I was like, I can imagine it would be hard to go tell your parents, yeah, that whole version of me, that's gone. Right? And you need a place to, I don't know, chew that, if you will, to figure it out. So I don't know. I can go both ways on this one. Parents should know, but sometimes parents are exactly who shouldn't know, if that makes sense.
That's
right. And also, right now, she said, I can go both ways on this one, right? And what if I'm a teacher and I go, well, Kathy's gay? And I just heard her say she goes both ways.
Yeah.
And I need to run to the parent.
Yep.
And tell. I mean, that's the kind of stuff.
I feel like I'm gonna have to explain this to my admin. Wait, it was just an example.
It was an example.
Yeah.
All right. Now we are talking about Charleston County, South Carolina. Was just there. Lovely people, exceedingly drunk. But no,
they live in South Carolina.
That was the wildest show.
Really?
I mean, they were drunk. So Charleston, South Carolina, you can party. And they know how to party. They are a party city. But anyways, the teachers and school staff, this is what happens after you party. Paid maternity leave is becoming available.
That was a good segue.
Yeah, paid maternity leave. So mothers will get 6 weeks of full paid maternity leave. Fathers get 2 weeks, and those who adopt a child will get 2 weeks of paid leave. Wow.
Okay.
I mean, South Carolina even?
Yeah, they decided unanimously to give the teachers and school staff paid leave. I would love to know what their previous one, it was 12 sick days a year.
Sorry.
Wow.
Wait, what? You know what's funny is I just was on the way here listening to NPR. They were talking about how South Carolina banning abortion and forcing them to give birth. Well, thanks for passing the sick leave first, or the paid
leave,
maternity leave. But this is the thing that baffles me. So I was talking to my buddy who works for a cigarette company.
Okay.
He is a male. His wife's about to give birth. He gets 3 months paid maternity leave.
Hold up.
You're telling me the cigarette companies care more about the future? Is that maybe because they're
customers.
They're like, hey, keep the kid alive anyways. Hey, here's a Joe Cool pillow.
Pretty much. I was going to tell you.
Yeah. When you're 13, call me.
He has a Newport bassinet.
We know it's stressful. Pack of cigarettes?
Yeah, there you go.
A Parliament pacifier. There you go.
I was
Parliament pacifier. Yes.
That's good. It's a menthol smell in the baby's crib. But no, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I told him, I said, dude, do you realize that when my ex gave birth to the children, I literally had no maternity leave. I had sick days, and that was it. I had to take FMLA, and they got livid at me. They were livid.
You took something that you were allowed to have?
Yeah, and they were like, why didn't you get I didn't get it approved ahead of time. I said, I didn't know that you guys were going to start docking all my pay and threaten to fire me when I just had a new child.
Yes.
And then so I did FMLA, and I was able to keep my job, but I wasn't getting paid. And now I was home for 4 days. And then I had to run back. I had to go back. This is the thing. If you, as a society, maybe I'm overstepping my bounds here, but
no, go for it.
I think as a society, one of the main problems is parents aren't there. And we sit there and we go, parents aren't there. Parents, parenting's gone by the wayside. But then as a society, we also demand that mom and dad work 60 hours a week.
That's right.
And give up their child to a daycare that continuously expands child to teacher ratios because they're getting overcrowded.
That's right.
And we go, well, why is this kid acting up? Why is this kid acting this way? Because they didn't have the parents at home. Oh, it was an absent father? Not willingly.
No. He said work. It goes back to what we say in the South when we were growing up. That kid does not have home training.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening.
Yep. So I'm happy. Thankfully, 73% of educators are women and are childbearing age. And so this is a huge bump to the people of South Carolina. Those teachers can rest at home with the child, and hopefully, have some good. Let me tell you one little side story too before we get into this last story, because this one I know she's got some good opinions on.
Okay.
One thing that made me so mad about being a teacher is I had a daycare in our school, in the high school. There was a daycare. And as a teacher, they told me it was $80 a week deducted from my paycheck.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, that's good. That was a huge perk of working there.
Yeah.
And I could take my kids there, drop them off, go downstairs, see them on my break time. You know, I'd go outside and I'd see them out playing. Hey, Gavin. Hey, Liam. You know, and it was cool as a dad.
Yeah.
Here's the part that made me so mad. The community could also use that as a daycare if you lived in that vicinity of the school.
All right.
But they weren't a teacher there, so they had to pay, it was like $200 a week.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
$200 a week. Somebody complained and said, how come the teachers only have to pay $80? And they took it to the school board, and the school board struck down that as a benefit for the community. So they went back and said, now teachers are $200 a month too, because the community had to pay $200 a month.
$200 a week?
Or $200 a week, yeah.
Oh, my God.
That makes me set fires.
And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? I work here. You know, this is
That's
a perk of
Yeah.
working here. But that's kind of stuff that makes me so. We have this mentality of if I can't have it, burn it to the ground.
Yes.
You know,
Yes,
and
we do.
It's a messed up mentality. All right, next one. This one, a special request to bring this up, and I already had it. It's lined up in the news here. Florida teacher is under investigation for showing the Disney movie Strange World that includes a gay character. Now, I posted about this already on my Facebook, but I saw some interesting opinions. I saw some hate. I saw a bunch of other stuff, and people unfollowed me every once in a while, but that's beside the point. The point is that a school teacher is under investigation for showing a movie where there was a gay character in it. Was there anything sexual in the movie? Was there anything provocative or nude? No, there was just simply a character that was in love with another character of the same sex, something you see commonly in society now, something that we only see commonly in society now is because we've become more accepting of it. It has always existed. And now apparently it is not able to be shown. The school actually did not side with the teacher, sent out a message to parents and said, we apologize, this won't be shown in school again where there's a gay character. Why?
I would love some. I've been asking myself this question for a very long time. I would love for someone to explain to me why we can't talk about it.
I don't know.
I don't know what's going to happen. It's not like Beetlejuice. You say it 3 times and a gay person appears.
If you're...
I mean, that would be cool.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Like, I need some advice with my hair.
The thing is that if your wife came in and was like, James, you're recording your podcast. You're like, yeah, I love you. A little kiss, you know, or whatever. And that's, and not, or whatever. Well, anyways, a little kiss.
But
and then she leaves. Nobody would say a word.
No, that's my point.
Because it's a relationship they approve of. And then if I, you know, a guy came in and was like, Devin, and I kissed him, they'd be like, what? You know, that can't be shown. Why can't it be shown?
Why?
And kids see it all over the place. At least they can have some representation in there because there's going to be gay kids in that class. More than, statistically speaking, probably one child in that classroom.
When I was a little boy, I was in school. I knew from a very young age that there was something about those girls that I liked. I was never in that phase where I'd pull their hair. They're gross. I'm like, no, they're pretty darn good. And there's little...
My mind's telling me no, but my body...
They're singing again, guys. They're singing again.
Telling me
yes. So there's little girls, little boys in school that know that they like the same sex. And you're telling them that, no, you should be ashamed of it. You shouldn't talk about it, and it's bad because we're not allowed to talk about it. That's going to stifle people being themselves. You're going to create more damage than good. I've never understood that point, man. Nothing bad's going to happen.
And one of the things that I've had somebody actually, I have a lot of friends that are gay, and I've had a lot of conversations with them. And when I
tell you one secret, Devin.
When I ask about it, though, I always say this. One of the number one questions I ask is, when did you know? And they're like, oh, I was 7. You know, or I was 6, or I was 8, or I was 10, or it's always at a young age.
Absolutely.
So then
that
you
first
tell,
kindergarten crush,
yeah.
you know?
So then that 6, 7, 8-year-old kid, even maybe let's go older because you know, let's say 11, 12, they know that they're feeling a certain way.
Yes,
and that's possibly who they are as they're finding themselves. And then to have the school district and parents come in and go, Just so you know, there was something very inappropriate shown. We want to apologize for showing that abhorrent film. Then you are telling somebody that what they do is unacceptable.
That's who they are.
And you are creating an idea in their head that it's not allowed to be them. Can you imagine being told it's not okay to be yourself?
Yes.
I mean, it's just, it's.
I'm a ginger girl. I heard a lot.
We live in Florida. Yes.
Yeah, but it's not okay to be yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, like I explained to somebody once, I was like, there are more gay people than natural redheads in the world, right? Like, and you act like they're alien things.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. It makes me so mad. I don't know if that look is a bit.
Well, they become
the red hair.
It's become like
I don't know if that's acceptable. DeSantis is watching this, taking notes. Red hair.
I'm pretty sure I'm on his list already, man. He's got my number.
Now they become like a Harry Potter villain, like the ones who shall not be named.
Yes.
Like this is weird.
You're absolutely right. And this is the thing. We show Princess Jasmine and Aladdin. We show, all these crazy movies. I mean, if you want to get technical, I remember when I was in school and I watched the movie Blank Check.
Yeah.
And they had like a adult woman that fell for the kid. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
I think it was Blank Check. It was one of those Disney movies.
I remember the movie Big.
Yeah, the movie Big.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there's stuff like that. I mean, I didn't sit there and go, you know what? That's what it's going to change me.
No.
That it's something you just watch and you go, "Oh, look, somebody else has a version of love that is different from my version of love." That is it.
I feel like we should do like some malicious compliance here, right? Like if we're going to complain about that, I want people complaining about everything, right? Like I saw a gay person, I don't want that. Well, I saw those two, married people kissing. I don't like that.
No.
I don't want to see a nuclear family. That's gross.
Oh,
that's
and they got along. Gross.
That doesn't happen in real life.
No, not at all. Yeah. Holding hands? Never.
Never. Not where I come from.
Look at a showing ankle. What is this, 1947?
I clearly saw her wrist.
The nuns used to say, "Leave room for the Holy Spirit."
You know what? But this is the thing, and I'm going to sidestep this and actually say we're sitting here laughing. But if you look at 1960s Iran, you look at the way they lived, it is different than now because they let that mentality seep in of this lifestyle is not allowed. It is not acceptable. They let it seep in and the rights got taken away. So we sit here and we say, it's just one teacher. It's growing and we need to stomp it out.
And they know that if they learned history.
Get that hate out of here,
There you go.
All right, now, I say get that hate out of here, and then I'm going to follow it up with something that I absolutely hate.
Oh, there you go.
Elementary school graduation.
I'm with
Do
you on
I
this one.
not? I had to give a speech one time at a 8th grade graduation, and let me tell you, there was nothing that I took less seriously than giving a speech at 8th grade graduation because it shouldn't be a graduation. Elementary school should not be a graduation. I've got my Bill Clinton pointer out because I'm so angry about this, but it just doesn't give them the actual graduation. Make it so much more meaningful.
Okay.
If we stop those little.
So you just want the high school one?
The high school
That's
one
it.
and the college one.
Okay.
It's
I
the
think
preschool
those
ones
mean
for me.
something.
Preschool.
They got a preschool graduation?
Preschool. I'm like,
It's like,
really?
you colored.
Yeah.
Here you go.
But
Gotcha.
this is the thing. There's some people who are really against this and say we should celebrate it because it gives them motivation. I think going, hey, in 11 more years, you show them videos of real graduation and say that could be you. That
may make them run. Graduation's really boring.
It is.
I'm
So
thinking
boring.
back to all my graduations. Like my elementary one, I went because I saw how excited my mom was. 8th grade, I was there because my parents acted like it was a really big deal. I didn't really care. It didn't really hit me until high school. Honestly, I really made some great friends, some great relationships. Man, this is all going away. Now I'm going to become an adult.
Yeah.
That's the first one I remember going, all right, this is something.
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
even bored at that one. I wanted out of high school so bad.
did
And then I
you?
ended up spending 13 years in another one.
You came back.
How that happened, I don't know. My own personal purgatory.
There you go.
Now, I thought of myself, what would an elementary school graduation valedictorian speech sound like?
Oh, wow.
If the kid got called up and they were like, the valedictorian of the 5th grade is here to give his speech. And I thought to myself, let me go ahead and deliver that speech. So thank you, friends, family, extinguished guests. distinguished. I haven't learned that word yet. That's 7th grade. We'll go with it. Guests. I would like to start first by thanking my parents. Unfortunately, they couldn't be here today. They're not dead or anything. They just are attending their own high school graduation. That's same day. Now, when I first started on this journey, I was just a small child. Car seat, nap mat, barely potty trained. Now look at me. Razor scooter, Spider-Man blankets. Still kind of pee on the seat, but I'm working on it. These were a tough last few years, and I would like to thank all the people out there that made it possible to get through this. Captain Crunch, Lil Debbie, all the hardworking fishermen who catch all the goldfish crackers. I know some of you in this crowd today are a little jealous. Mainly Bryson, because he told me he didn't like me anymore. But joke's on him, because his girlfriend said she liked my Pokemon cards better. You're not invited to my birthday party next year. It's 10 months away, but I'm getting invites out now, and you're not one of them. I worked hard to get where I am. A lot of people said I couldn't color between the lines, but I proved them wrong. Most people would give up when their thumb cramped up during finger painting. Not me. Switch to the pinky, because I'm gifted. At this point in my life, I'm not sure what my future holds for me. A nap, Minecraft, maybe both. Sky's the limit. I would like to end this with an inspirational quote really spoke to me these last few years. If nautical nonsense be something you wish, drop on that deck and flop like a fish.
Oh my God. Wait.
I felt that. Elementary school class of 2023, we made it. Never forget this moment. It'll define your life. Also, if anyone would like to trade me some fruit gummies for this diploma, I'll be out back by the monkey bars. Not you, Bryson. All right, there it is. The valedictorian.
Well done.
Well done,
elementary
sir.
school.
Well done.
All right, Kathy, how can people follow you on TikTok, IG, all the good stuff?
I'm at Cannon Spotter on TikTok, at Cannon Spotter _IG on Instagram, because, gotta know where you are. I have a podcast of my own called Just Buy Less Coffee, where I say a lot of bad words and rant about politics.
Just
if you're
buy
into
less
that.
coffee?
Yeah,
I love
millennial snark,
Yeah.
is what it is. And yeah. That's
Awesome.
what I do.
Awesome. And devincomedy.com for my upcoming tour dates. A lot of tour dates just went on sale. I checked that we, with the Board Teachers Tour through the end of the year, have 78 shows. You better be at one of them. James, what do you got?
Actually, I got added to one of the Board Teachers tours. Yeah, that's right. Look at me. Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pretty much. I'm actually paying to be on the tour.
That makes sense.
But as always, you guys can follow me at James Yan Comedian on IG. Please do it on Facebook as well. And thank you, all you teachers, all your support, all your comments. I love you guys. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks so much. Be sure to share this. Leave a comment in the comment section. We appreciate them. I read them. I respond to them.
Yes.
We'll be back next week with a brand new episode of Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. There might be a clip down there. If it's got our face, if it's other people's stuff, come back. Don't click on that. But us. Suggested things. That's us. Crying in My Car. Devin Siebold, James Yan, Board Teachers. Watch. New trailer for Indiana Jones. No, don't do that. Don't do that.